Here's your news for October 17, 2019. We're kicking off with some Universal Championship news today, as after the controversial Hell in a Cell match between Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt, the two will collide once again. On Twitter, NYCB Live confirmed that the pair will collide in a steel cage on the November 4th Raw, an interesting announcement considering Wyatt is drafted to SmackDown. The pair already have a Falls Count Anywhere match announced for Crown Jewel just a few days prior, leaving fans scratching their heads about just what WWE is planning here. We mentioned that Wyatt was assigned to SmackDown as part of this week's WWE draft, but many stars weren't so lucky. While most superstars were drafted, there were some who remained free agents, but who now have been assigned a roster. On WWE's The Bump, it was revealed that No Way Jose, Mojo Rawley, Sarah Logan, The Iconics, and the team of Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins will be moving to Raw, while SmackDown has received Luke Harper, Cesaro, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, and Drake Maverick. One notable part of these picks is that Harper was drafted to SmackDown, while Eric Rowan was drafted to Raw, and it'll be interesting to see how the former tag champions do on separate brands. One person who didn't do so well in the draft this week was Eric Bischoff, who was fired from his position as executive director of SmackDown after reportedly doing very little. The WCW magnate won't be out of the public eye for long though, as yesterday, he announced an appearance at StarCast 4 in Baltimore, which will take place the same weekend as AEW's Full Gear event on November 9th. This move isn't too shocking to fans, as Conrad Thompson, who runs the StarCast event, also helps run the 83 Weeks podcast with Bischoff himself. No events have been announced as far as live shows at StarCast, but hopefully Bischoff will get a live mic, so fans can find out what really happened in WWE. In a tweet, Bischoff praised his executive director replacement Bruce Prichard, calling him one of the most dedicated people he knows, which led to the former Brother Love responding, calling Eric a great businessman, creator, and friend. Despite being with WWE since February, Bischoff never stopped his 83 Weeks podcast, and even after his termination, tried to sell some merch. In a tweet, Bischoff posted an image on one shirt that reads "Fired," but in the FedEx logo, a reference to Steve Austin being fired via FedEx from WCW after being told he did never be a main eventer. One person who saw the shirt and took note is CM Punk, as the best in the world knows all about being fired by WWE. Replying to the tweet, Punk said, "Wedding day or nah?" a reference to the former world champion being sent his termination papers on the day he married AJ Lee, as despite rumors of Punk returning, it seems he hasn't forgiven WWE just yet. Though Bischoff is gone from WWE, the show still goes on, as Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair will be a part of the October 28th episode of Raw, the go-home show for Crown Jewel that will take place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Hogan and Flair will fly out with the rest of the crew after the show, before coaching their respective teams for the show. Hogan's team will have Rusev, Ricochet, and 3 other names competing, and while Seth Rollins was originally announced for the team, he will reportedly be pulled soon so he can focus on Bray Wyatt. Flair's team will consist of Randy Orton, King Corbin, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Lashley, and one more name who is yet to be announced. The last time Hogan and Flair were on Raw, their segment drew the highest number of viewers for the night, though the duo may face competition this time, as Tyson Fury and Cain Velasquez are also expected to appear on the October 28th Raw ahead of the respective matches in Riyadh. This month's Crown Jewel will be the 4th show in the WWE Saudi deal, and once again there's been speculation as to whether women will be allowed to compete. In June, Natalya and Alexa Bliss traveled over to Jeddah to help promote Super Showdown, and while there were hopes of the first ever women's match there, these plans were nixed by the Saudi government due to their culture. On Twitter, Dave Meltzer said there are no plans for women at Crown Jewel, saying, "Unless something changes, there are no women's matches scheduled. It came down to the wire last time, and they were told no at the end after bringing Natty and Alexa to Saudi Arabia." Though women may not be appearing at Crown Jewel, one superstar who might is Sheamus, who hasn't wrestled since WrestleMania and has been dealing with some issues. During his time away for spinal stenosis, however, the former world champion has worked on his physique in a major way, and while he hasn't returned yet, Brad Shepard said he could be back as early as next week. Sheamus remains a free agent after the WWE draft and could find plenty of work, in or out of the ring, in WWE. Despite being 41, there's a lot left in the tank for the Irish superstar, and he's ready to make a return whenever WWE calls him. The biggest question now is what WWE will have in mind for him when he's back. From Ireland to Japan now, as the WWE is continuing to expand its brand into every corner of the world, even places where there are established wrestling traditions. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer addressed rumors of the company trying to launch NXT Japan, and reportedly recently tried to buy the Noah promotion, but the deal didn't come through. Now though, WWE is still looking to sign some big names to get NXT Japan launched. As Meltzer stated, they're definitely working on it. They've talked to a number of companies in Japan. They've tried to buy companies in Japan. I don't know of any deals that have gone through. The ones I've heard about didn't go through. They wanted to buy Noah, so it didn't go through. There's talk about different people being hired as Japanese trainers, big names. I don't want to say until I get it confirmed, but there are two big names that have gone around as far as them hiring. Yeah, they want to do NXT Japan, absolutely. They've been making moves in that direction. Despite some setbacks, don't expect WWE to give up on the Japanese market anytime soon, as their quest continues to keep their spot as the biggest wrestling promotion in the world. One new promotion who is all set to compete with WWE, though, is AEW, who hosted the third edition of Dynamite last night. Following up from last week's huge show, Dynamite started off strong with an epic tag match that saw SoCal Uncensored defeat the Best Friends. The original plan was for Kaz and Christopher Daniels to represent SCU, but after being jumped by Phoenix and Pentagon Jr., Daniels was replaced by Sky. With Sky hitting a sweet powerbomb/dropkick to get the win, this win sees the SCU move forward in the AEW Tag Team Title Tournament. Up next, fans saw more tag team action, as the Inner Circle's Santana and Ortiz picked up a dominant win over John Silver and Alex Reynolds. From the get-go, Santana and Ortiz dominated, and after a top rope street sweeper, the match was quickly over. It was the first of two championship matches on the card next, as AEW Women's Champion Riho put her title on the line against Britt Baker, who still sported a black eye from Bea Priestley's attack last week. Despite her eye injury, Baker dominated for much of the match, taking down the champ with a series of arm drags and an impressive TKO. It was a valiant performance by Baker, but it was Riho who got the win, countering Baker's mandible claw with a pin to retain the title. Post-match, a clearly annoyed Baker begrudgingly shook hands with Riho, as it seems things aren't fine between the two wrestlers. Another tag match next, as the Lucha Bros faced Jurassic Express in the tag team tournament. A physical match with plenty on the line, it was the Lucha Bros who advanced to the semifinals after Pentagon used the armbreaker to damage Stunt before delivering the piledriver double stomp combo for the 1-2-3. In our third tag match of the night, Pac and Jon Moxley tried to ruin the party of Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, as the show took place on the Cleaner's birthday. After a fun birthday song by the crowd, Moxley and Omega got things started, with a series of chops to each other in the corner. There was clear dissension between Pac and Moxley, which culminated when the former Lunatic Fringe used a bat, something Pac didn't approve of. Hitting Pac with a double-arm DDT, Moxley would leave his partner hanging, leaving the Geordie prime pickings for Omega and Page, who got the win. Main event time next as AEW World Champion Chris Jericho put his title on the line against Darby Allin. Meeting in a Philadelphia street fight, there was no brotherly love for these two, as Allin quickly used his agility to outpace Jericho, who responded with throwing the young wrestler to the outside. There, Y2J would try his hand at Allin's skateboard, to little success, but then the match got extreme, with a kendo stick shot by Allin being reciprocated with a chair shot by the champ. In one shocking moment, Jericho would tape Allin's hands behind his back, but when even this couldn't hold the young star down, it was the Inner Circle's Jake Hager who made the difference, cold-cocking Allin and leaving him prone for a Boston Crab that got Jericho the submission win. An entertaining main event for an entertaining show, fans can't help but notice that AEW seems to rely a lot on tag matches, but fans should stay tuned for another huge show next week. Well guys, that's our news for today. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to check out our previous video, 10 huge, shocking WWE 2019 rumors you need to know about. Also check out our other high-rated videos by clicking at the upper right-hand corner or down in the description field. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and the bell icon so you don't miss a single new video. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and as always, thank you for watching.